If you go up 15K, like today you're up 18, is it enough? Can you stop? Like, and I get it's hard to pull yourself away. You know, like I know you can't stop. I know none of us can. It's the same problem we all have. What would you say is the way to get to the point of being able to throw some, 10, 15, 20 minis? Do you notice that over this time of you being so focused on growing the brand into multiple streams of income that you've gotten better at trading?
I'm at a point now where, I've got multi-millions of dollars and I've got everything I've ever dreamed of, but the drain from trading, you're gonna get to that point. Like you're gonna make a certain amount of money or whatever it is, and you're gonna maybe change up to swing trading. You're gonna do more long-term investing, but like
100%.
Spending every single day of your life staring at charts, like hoping to get a breakout. Like I even think about it now. I'm like, I'm over it.
What's up, boys? Welcome back to the show. Today, I've got the one you've been asking for. It's Patrick Wieland. It's a good one. I think you're going to love this conversation, so I'm not even going to give you a big intro. Enjoy my conversation. Pat is awesome. We talk about everything you guys wanted to hear, from his trading to the internet beef to the Lambos and everything in between. So enjoy this conversation. Patrick's a great guy, and I really appreciate him for giving us the time. Thank you to our sponsors. Make sure you're subscribed, and let's get into the episode.
The sponsor of today's episode is Top One Trader. If you've been a listener, you know Top One has been a sponsor for a while, and that's because they continue to deliver. And there's two factors that I think separate them from all the other CFD prop firms out there right now. Now, they are a top 30 firm, and if you look at all of the other top 30 firms, this is not happening anywhere else. Number one, payouts in an hour or less, as fast as 8 minutes. It's crazy. It's like almost unbelievable. And also customer service that they actually answer your question when you hit the live chat in as quick as 60 seconds. Some of these firms, we won't mention names, take 2 weeks to get back to you. So when it comes to an industry that is very competitive, where you can get funded with so many different firms, you've got to find those standout features. All the challenges are basically the same price. All of the rules are basically the same. But where Top One separates themselves, like I said, is in payout speed and reliability and customer service. So if you're looking to get funded with CFDs, check out Top One Trader. Use the link down below or flying in above the screen. That'll save you some money. The code is ASFX. That's going to save you 30%. We appreciate them for being a sponsor. Now let's get back to the show. The audience really wants to get to know you a little bit more, bro. I think they see the persona of PW, but they don't know the story behind PW. Now, I found out before we just started the recording, you're born and raised in Florida, so you are a Florida boy. And I think that explains a lot of the attitude they see on the internet. But let's go back a little bit. First trade you ever took, you were trading stocks, correct?
Yeah. So just to kind of give a quick who the hell is Patrick Wieland for dummies.
Let's hear it. Yeah,
basically, fresh out of high school, I got a job filming wakeboarding professionally, right? Okay. I was making like $1,000 a month to first start out. I was traveling all over the world, filming for Nike, Red Bull, making more money as it grew. I got to a point where I was making some serious, money filming constantly, but I was always traveling. I was always editing. I made 2 movies on iTunes. I filmed some of the top surfers in the world. I've filmed for professional athletes. I've filmed with, movie stars, all types of stuff over the years. Will Smith, there's videos on YouTube of all this stuff that I did. And then it got to a point where I was like, man, I got tired of building everybody else up, right? Like, because I got really good at basically helping other people like create content and build up their brand. And I'm like, but there's no equity, right? And you know how this is. I mean, even like nowadays when you work at the company, it's like you help build their brand up, but it's like, what's the equity there? Because once it's over, like everyone's like, they're on their platform and then they're off of yours. And you're like, well, man, that really burned me. So I kind of had that I saw the future. I'm like, man, this social media stuff's happening. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to just keep being a filmer because people don't want to pay for a movie anymore. They just want it instantly on Instagram. You can film with the phone. So it really devalued me, or at least like made it harder because companies now were like, well, can't we just like film it on a phone and like put it on Instagram? I'm like, what? Like, I guess we could, but like, I don't know how much I could charge you for that. Like,
right. Just way different. It changed the game completely.
I was filming, with red cameras and I was filming like $300,000, $500,000 cameras sometimes, big setups and this whole process. But I saw kind of the idea of, building my own brands. That's kind of when I started with the Instagram and all that. And I was still doing the surfing, traveling, living, going to Hawaii a bunch, doing all that. And finally it got to a point where I started dating a girl and her dad was really, really rich off the stock market, mostly from long-term investing. But I kind of got that itch because I was like, wait, so you can make money just like investing? Like, how does that work? So obviously, like, first thing I do, I go on YouTube, and I'm like, well, these idiots, like, everybody on YouTube at the time they were bad. I was bad when I first started, but like a lot of people were it was bad. So I was like, I think I could do this better. And I really had no idea what I was doing. So I started a YouTube channel and I just started making videos. And it was the wildest thing. I was like, all right, today I'm gonna try to make $100, and like that was literally like a goal back in the day. If I can make $100 trading the small caps, I traded small caps, traded the micros. I mean, it was very, very just starting out, a whole different outlook.
What year is
on life.
this?
This is 2016 when I really started trading, and then 2017 is when I started the YouTube channel.
And, it makes sense. I think for everybody already understands now, oh, this is why this guy loves making videos, because you were doing videos before you were trading. This is who you are. You are a creative person to begin with. So it makes a lot of sense. Do you miss that world at all?
Well, not really.
I was going to say, because you're doing it now. You do it with sports cars.
Well, I like doing that stuff now, but it's nice because like now I'm actually like, I make money, so I don't need to like, it used to be where I would have to like ask for somebody like, hey, can I get a free surfboard? Like I'd have to hit up a company, be like, can I get a free surfboard or stuff? And I would get free stuff, but it was a lot of work. And it was like, yeah, if you give you a free surfboard, you're going to post it on your Instagram and post it on this. I'm like, okay, yeah. And now I'm just like, I'm just going to buy whatever I want because I don't have to do anything for anybody. So
yep.
I love that.
When did you switch from stocks to futures then?
So that's also part of the funny story. So I started out trading with not micros, the micro floats, small floats. I mean, stuff with like 1 million shares, basically right when the market opens, you buy, it goes up 100%, you sell, or it goes the opposite and you blow up. So I started trading with SureTrader, which is funny because SureTrader was kind of like the stock market prop firm model, right? Okay. Where you put $500 in and then they give you like 100 times leverage. Okay. And you can short anything because what came out was basically they were never actually sending any of the orders to the book. Right. But like nobody knew, like, because that business model.
No, you don't know back then.
Back then. So it was kind of like, because I was looking at the book one day, I was trading some really thin stock. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, I got 100 shares for sale and it's not showing up there. I wonder why. And I kept looking. I'm like, that's weird. Like, and then I kind of figured it out. And that was Guy Gentile back in the day. So he started Speed Trader, which was like the original online way to trade the NASDAQ and stuff. His wife still runs DAS Trader, or his ex-wife. I've actually done some stuff within the past. So DAS Trader, very like small cap futures, shorting, a lot of that kind of stuff. It's funny because I still see people trading it nowadays. And I'm like, what are y'all doing? You got to get on that futures game. So it got to a point where I was kind of like, just couldn't find consistency, because you have these stocks that go up big, they get halted. They get halted for 3 weeks. I had a stock one time where I was in a position for like 2 weeks straight because it was halted.
That's crazy.
And you're just like, well, what's going to happen? I don't know. And you can't even trade because now you have no money. So
you're all tied up.
There, I'm like, I can't do anything, So I was tired of just how crazy it was. So obviously, when I first started trading futures, I started trading futures like 2018, 2019, but like very like scarcely. I was kind of like, I put like $500 into an account. I would blow it up, and then I kind of like do it again and make a little bit of money here and there, trading the ES mostly. And then 2020, COVID happened and the market started moving. Like I'm like, no one ever seen it before. It's like, we're getting 500,000 point moves in a matter, of 30 minutes. I remember one time during COVID when the market got halted, and I'm like twice got halted in one day, and I'm sitting there trading. I'm like, oh my God, like it can't go lower. Right. And it just kept going lower. I'm like, well, yeah, it's got to stop. Like it's got to stop. But it just kept going lower. So I think COVID really got a lot of people into trading. The problem for a lot of people is they got into Robinhood. They got into trading options because that was like the most accessible, easiest. You sign up for Robinhood, you buy an options contract, you get rich, right? Yep. But obviously it didn't work out that way. People trading AMC, a lot of people hated on me so much when the whole AMC, just GameStop thing happened because AMC was at like $50. And I'm like, guys, this is going to zero. And you're like, you're just a hater. It's going to go to 1,000. I'm like, okay. Yeah, that's never like. I tell people now, if you ever like hear about an idea of like some kind of like stock that is going to go up huge and you're going to get rich, well, that's not the one, right? Because it's never works out that way. Because like you look back through history and like how many people got rich off of one stock, off of one trade?
Very rare.
Very rare, and they probably blew it up the next day. They made $1 million trading and then they blew it up the next day. So that right there, I tell people, I'm like, look. When you first start out, this ain't a game of trying to get rich in one trade. This is a game of trying to get rich in 1 million trades. It's a 1 million trade game. You gotta make $1 1 million times.
So true.
You know,
So true.
do
So wait,
that.
let me ask you, since you bring up teaching, do you enjoy teaching traders or do you enjoy trading more, like on your own?
It's kind of I have my days. You know, I think every trader, every streamer has their days where you just like you're
Some days
over.
I love the live chat. Some days I hate
Yeah,
everyone.
exactly. Like, and it's really just, it's like, I think it comes down to just I don't know what you call it, but the vibe, you know, just are they in a good mood and in a bad mood? Because I have days where it's like, man, the market was really good. We had perfect setups. We made money. And it's like a really good feeling, right? You walk away from that live stream, you're like, man, that was a good day.
Yeah.
You know, people are like in the stream. I got people texting me like, man, that was a really good stream. I'm like, I know it was, right? Like, how awesome was that stream? But it's funny because the days where the market is chopping, the days when the trading is bad, that's when the negative energy comes in, right? Because now it's like, you know, yesterday I had a trade where I got into a trade, I was up 20 points on it, and then I got stopped out for I think right below break even, like 5 points. I got stopped out, and everyone in the chat, see, he always loses when he shows a trade. I'm like, it was up 20 points. Like, what do you, and that's like, I get a lot of critics, you know, who are like, Patrick, you don't tell us exactly when to buy, when to sell. And I've been doing this so long now that honestly, if I try to do that, and I've done it in the past, and I still do it today with some trade ideas, but the majority of the time, it's just really difficult because you get into the trade and you might have a target, you might have a plan, but if you're like, you know, if you're up 10 points and you're in the green and the whole chat's watching, you're like, I'll just take it, right? Because you took 10 points and you won. And now the chat can't talk because they're like, whoa, he made profit.
Right.
But, you know, normally it's like I would hold that trade for a lot longer, maybe 40, 50 points. But like knowing that the chat is watching, knowing that I'm in that trade, it's difficult. I had a trade the other day that I got 100 points and I started showing people the trade kind of like after I was pretty much like far into the money. And everyone's like, you only showed us after. I'm like, that's, you know, I don't pay. Like I don't charge people for the live stream. The live stream's free. So I got to kind of figure out what works best for me. And I mean, at the end of the day, I'm still trying to make money, right? Like as a trader myself, I want to make money. So like I made $18,000 a day. And it's like the money that I'll make from the live stream is not going to be anywhere near that.
Right.
Maybe $100, $200 on the live stream.
People think that the YouTube money is crazy. It's not.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not. Ad revenue, everybody, is not that great.
Good. The
affiliate
money
is
good. The YouTube money is not good.
YouTube sucks.
Yeah.
I would think too. So I charge for my live streams right now. It's $10 a month. It's not expensive, but by doing that, it's pushed away a lot of riffraff, which kind of keeps the community a little bit, I think, more positive than negative. But I totally understand what you're saying. And then it's tough because you can't make everybody happy, but at the same time, you don't want to have signals. You want them to be self-sufficient. That's why you just built this course. And I wanted to talk to you about this for a second too. What's been the response from the course so far? I want to say thank you to those of you who have seen the free futures course we put out just a few weeks ago. It has blown up way more than I thought it would, and I'm very appreciative of that. But if you're someone who's listening to the podcast, maybe you're a first-time listener, and you haven't seen our free futures course, it's 3 hours. Go download it. You will not be sorry. Not only are you going to learn some things about the futures markets that you probably don't know, but you're actually going to get the strategy with the VWAP that I use every single day. This is the same strategy I teach to our mentorship students. This is the same strategy that I show when I'm streaming on ASFX TV. There's no fluff. Read the reviews. That's what everybody says. Austin has no fluff, no BS. It's straight to the point where you probably have to watch it 2 or 3 times because I talk fast and I give you a lot of value. So if you haven't seen the course, link is in the description, or go to www.wop.com/ASFX. I appreciate all of you for checking it out. Now let's get back to the video.
I mean, every single person who's bought it, I had one guy, my favorite. I had one guy who emailed, he's like, I thought this course was going to be a lot more intricate. All you did was basically show me how to enter and exit trades. I'm like,
Isn't that all that matters at the end of it, right?
Because people, that's the funny part, right? This guy bought the course. He bought it. So he must have felt some type of need.
Yeah.
Right? Like he must have thought maybe I'm going to learn something. So he buys the course and then instantly it's like, oh, well, it's not advanced enough. It's not advanced enough. I'm like, but like, how profitable are you to think
you bought a course?
Right. You bought a course that you spent $200. Like it'd be one thing if my course was $10,000. Like I'd be like, you better expect to get the bells and whistles, and I'm going to come to your house and give you a back massage after, something like it's going to be wild.
Right.
But for $200, it's like, what can you really demand from me?
Right. Right. But now I think it's a good outlet for most of the audience too, that you'll find on stream. They'll be able to be like, I watched the course. Now I see what Patrick's doing. So when you teach, Pat, who do you credit for teaching you how to trade? And was it Stuff back in the stock days? Why are you laughing?
Because it's always my favorite. That's like always everyone's favorite question. Who taught you to trade?
Well, I'm just curious because like I look at the way
yeah.
you trade. It's not overly complicated. It's very
It's not.
basic
No, I
patterns.
think it really does. You know, the opening range breakout goes back to the small caps.
Yep.
Small caps, you knew that if it got above, it doesn't happen so much with futures, but more so with small caps. Like if it broke above the pre-market high, then you were like, okay, it's going to go. So you're kind of, watching. And a lot of times, the small caps back in the day, they didn't have a massive range. It was kind of like very tight trading pre-market. And then when that news would come out, it was just like gone. So that idea, trading the 15-minute range on even, the big caps, trading on NVIDIA, Apple, those stocks, it's a very common strategy. So by no means do I like claim that it's my strategy, but I think like even today we had 50 points above the 15-minute opening range. We had 50 points below it.
Yep.
So if you're entering a trade looking for 20, 30 points, like, you're going to
find it.
That'll be there. So, for me, I think the biggest reason that I wanted to make a course was, number one, obviously there's a big demand for it. They just want to spend money, even though a lot of the videos are on my YouTube live or, free on there. There's 2,000 videos on my YouTube channel that you can go through and watch. But it's like, the idea is I took all that stuff that I've learned over the last few years trading futures, and I've just kind of compressed it into a 10 chapter long course. So now it's like you can start at the beginning, and then at the end of it, you're like, oh, it makes sense. Instead of going on YouTube, watching one video and being like, oh, I don't understand what he's saying. You get pieces. It's confusing because you don't know what I'm talking about, especially if you're a beginner. You're like, what's he talking about? The VWAP? Where's the VWAP feature at? I can't even figure it out. So that was the idea of the course. It was like, what if I could build a course that'll basically get people up to speed when they're watching the live stream, that they're like, oh, hey, I see it's pushing through the VWAP. Hey, I see there's a bull flag. He taught me that. He's probably going to go for a long. And then I take a long and they're like, I took that long too. So I think that's a really cool thing. You get people that actually are like, I took that trade with you, but not knowing that I was in it. Right. Because that's the best thing. In the beginning, I was in, every Discord, every chat room, everywhere you could possibly get signals, thinking that I was going to find some hot stock, buy it because some guy told me to. And, sure, here and there it works. But in the long term, like, I wasn't learning anything. I was just learning how to chase. I was learning how to basically buy after something already went up. And what happens after it already goes up and you buy? Well, it's going to come back down just naturally.
Every time.
A little pullback. But that's the whole chasing game. And so if all you're doing is watching somebody else and trying to get signals, well, it's guaranteed that you're just chasing at that point.
So what do you tell people is the best way to learn how to trade? Is it watch streams? Is it take courses? What do you tell new traders that are like, Pat, I want to figure this out? Even though I know you go around at the same time telling people you're not a day trader, like you do all this other stuff. So it's like you kind of talk both sides of it.
First thing I tell people, like, don't day trade. I had a guy the other day on Instagram hit me up. He's like, hey man, I got a business, I got a family, I got a wife. I'd love to make some extra money. I'm like, honestly, this is not the game for you. The game for you is putting money into like an ETF and holding for the next 10 years. Because like, what are you going to gain? You already have a business, you've already got a family, you've got kids. So now you're going to devote all this time and effort to try to learn how to day trade for the next 5 years. Like, what is it worth it? Like, is the I don't think the risk reward is there for somebody. It sounds messed up because I'm over here telling people,
no, it's just the truth. It's just the truth. It's not for everybody. Yeah. So you tell
this is a business for a single guy or a single lady, whatever, for somebody that has free time. They don't have kids. They've got they need something to do basically. Yeah. And this is that's the game to be in. You can learn how to trade over time. And, 5 years from now, you should be a better day trader if you just continuously learn and just take it slow. The problem is,
how many hours a day are you thinking though? Like when you say that, like how many hours a day are you thinking someone's putting?
2 hours tops, but so 2 hours not an all day thing. Guy who has a business and family, that's a lot of time dedicated.
Absolutely. And
I think especially every day. It's a drain, like emotionally. Like, I don't know. I'm at a point now where, I've got multi-millions of dollars and I've got everything I've ever dreamed of, but the drain from trading, it just gets, there's a point, I think people definitely, if you're a serious day trader, like there's a point where you're going to stop day trading. Like, I think you're going to get to that point. Like, you're going to make a certain amount of money or whatever it is, and you're going to maybe change up to swing trading. You're going to do more long-term investing, but like
100%.
Spending every single day of your life staring at charts, like hoping to get a breakout. Like, I even think about it now. I'm like, I'm over it.
100%. Do you know Anthony Crudelli? Have you been connected with him yet? He said that when I interviewed him. I've had him on a couple times. He said, he's like, the one thing I wish I would have done when I was younger is invest in businesses and stuff that would pay me when I'm older, so I don't have to trade every day still.
Exactly.
That's exactly what he said.
Yeah, and that's, it's funny because people always like hate on me or talk like, oh, you spent all your money on stupid stuff. But like, to be honest, I don't want to get like too deep into it, but like, the cars, the boats, all that, it's like part of my business. Everything is ran through the LLC.
Of course.
I have a captain, I have all this, and it's all paid through the business, and it's all marketing, right? Because like at the end of the day, if I get more views, I make more money, and the cars, the boats, the lifestyle, it leads to more money. So they can hate on it, but it's also like, well, you're wasting all your money buying a Lambo. I'm like, but that Lambo is making you money.
It's making you money, and it's a write-off, right? Because if you're running it through your business, right? So it's helping you pay less in taxes, which is the right thing to do.
Yeah, spending $200,000 on a billboard and putting
or
it
right, Facebook ads or whatever. Yeah, exactly.
I literally have the best billboard there is.
It's right there. Right. And I think, I think people really appreciate even just what you said there in the last 5 minutes, Pat, like your authenticity is why people love you so much. And if you look at it, especially on your side of Florida, not my side of Florida, on your side of Florida, there's a lot of fuckboys over there, bro. There's a lot of scammers in Miami driving around Lambos saying, yeah, I made all my money from trading and this is my Lambo. People really appreciate when you explain that you have this set up, I think, the right way. You have multiple streams of income. I think that's what a lot of traders shoot for, is multiple. Because, bro, like you said a minute ago, trading is not only draining, it's not going to be profitable every month. Have you been profitable every month you've traded, Pat? No.
The thing too is like, what am I good at, right? I know I'm good at creating content. I'm good at making videos. I'm good at getting people to watch. I'm good at getting people to talk about me. So it's like, I went into a niche, which was day trading, right? I found this niche, and I was able to become one of the largest people inside of that niche. And then I'm able to now grow outside that niche into other things. I told people the other day on stream, I'm like, guys, if I could sell 250,000 courses, that's $50 million. That sounds crazy.
Each subscriber. Right? No, it's not. Because if you look, you have 200.
It sounds crazy, but it's not, right?
Right. No, it's not. It's not.
So
wait, let's got it. But we got to fast forward then now, because I want to know what's next when you say you're branching out. What are you doing? You starting a workout brand next, an energy drink? What's next? What's Patrick Wieland doing next?
So I'm actually launching a book soon. It's like an introduction to trading futures book, kind of based on the course, but it'll be like $30. Get on Amazon or $10, whatever the Amazon price is. And so I'm launching that. We're launching other stuff. I think there is a future for me. Kind of going back into the marketing consulting world, right? Because a lot of brands, like, they just don't know how to stand out. A lot of brands don't know how to like market themselves. And I think I've done a really good job of not only like proving that I can do that, but like I have the perfect example. Like, look, I built this YouTube with no experience, no connections, and it just worked, right? And I got to a point, maybe I was the right time, right place, but it took a lot of effort and took a lot of kind of bigger picture, like you were saying with the sunglasses. Like, people are like, why do you wear sunglasses? Like, I wear the sunglasses because it gets people pissed off. They talk about it, and they walk on somebody else, and it's like, it's just getting more views. The more I can like get people to talk about it, it's winning. I'm winning. They're losing. So,
but do you notice that over this time of you being so focused on growing the brand into multiple streams of income, that you've gotten better at trading?
I wish. I think my biggest problem now with trading is that I'm just like, I want big profits.
What's big?
Right? I'm like $20,000, $30,000 days. And I do have those days, but I do have plenty of days where, I'm up 15,000 in the morning, and then I keep trading, and then I'm back to zero or worse, I lose 10,000. So,
right.
I make a lot of money from all the affiliate stuff, the course, all of this stuff. So it's like, it's hard to be happy with a $500 profit day. Dude, like,
you said it the best the other day. I heard you say, you were like, once you make 50K in a day, you're only just going to want to chase that 50K a day again. And I can totally relate to that. I'm still chasing my best month ever. I still haven't duplicated it. So I totally understand what you're saying, bro.
Well, because I mean, it's like, if you could make $5,000 a day, you're like, well, I can make 10, I can make 20, Right now I'm sitting here staring at the chart, and I'm like, maybe it breaks, just bounced off the VWAP. So the problem is, when you're a momentum day trader, it's hard because there will be multiple setups that will come, and you will watch them, and you'll be like, I should take this. But it does get to a point where you got to like kind of be like, all right, it's a good time to walk away. I normally I sometimes have good power hours, but I would say the majority of, my best trading happens before 11, 11:30. that's like the golden hour for me, 2 hours, whatever it is. Cause that's when the market's moving. That's when there's momentum. And I said before, if you're a momentum day trader, like how are you going to day trade momentum if there is no momentum?
Yeah.
If the market's not breaking out and continuing higher or breaking down and continuing lower, like you can't trade those breakouts because you're going to get stopped out and it doesn't work. So you really got to kind of like be in sync with like, all right, hey, this is past the point of momentum hour. It's time to go. Did you see that move yesterday at 350?
Of course.
100 points.
100 points. Dude.
The best part is I walked away. I went to my other room on the laptop, and I was like, I'm not even gonna look at it because it was so like choppy and bad. Yep. Right up until 350, and then it went up 100 points.
Yep.
Right, and I'm just like, and I looked at that, and I was like, are you kidding me? Because I was really like thinking like, okay, it's not gonna do anything, and then I see that happen. So
two things. It's interesting for people to hear you say that, like, as you get more experience and stuff, you make more money, you want to trade less. I think that's another commonality that I've heard from interviewing guys with a lot of experience and a lot of success. They say great traders, you have to force them to trade. Guys with a lot of size, you have to force them to want to be in the market. And that's basically what you're saying, because it opens you up to more risk. You also mentioned time. So by 11 a.m., you don't come across to me as a guy with a lot of rules in his trading. You have strategies, you have foundation, but you don't have a lot of systematic rules. You're very discretionary. So give us a little more color to how you operate. You gave us a time. I know you trade NASDAQ. Everybody knows that. But do you have any other rules? Like, will you make, if you go up 15K, like today you're up 18, is it enough? Can you stop? Like, and I get it's hard to pull yourself away. I know you can't stop. I know none of us can. It's the same problem we all have. But so this is what I'm saying. You don't really have a lot of rules, do you? Hey guys, really fast. I just want to share something with you. It's very interesting. We've seen more people in the last 4 months in our mentorship pass combines, pass trading challenges, and get payouts more than we've ever seen in the last 4 years of running this program. It's mind-blowing. So something is going on, whether the markets are changing, the prop firm challenges are getting easier, our coaching ability is getting better, the environment of being in a group of like-minded traders is feeding people to grow faster. I think it's a culmination of all of those things put together, but the Black Shirt Club is popping. If you don't know what the Black Shirt Club is, this is our private mentorship group. I'm going to put a link in the description for you guys to check that out. And I'll also put a link there for you to book a call with me. If you're looking for someone that's going to hold your hand and help you not only pass a funding challenge, but see your first payout, book a call with me and let's see if you'd be a good fit. We don't bring everybody into the Black Shirt Club. Honestly, it's because of the workload that we ask you to do. But if you're someone who is really taking this seriously and you want to jumpstart your learning or maybe catch up after you've been spinning your wheels for a while on your own, book a call. It's 10 minutes with me. It's free. Let's see if it'd be a good fit. Let me see if I can help you. If not, we'll part ways and maybe cross paths in the future. But so far this year, it has been incredible to see the success of our Black Shirt Club members, and I want to pass that on to you. So use the link, book a call, and hopefully we'll chat soon.
I know I don't, and I need to, and I tell myself, I'm like, look, if I'm up 18,000 on the day, and let's put on another trade, but like I can't go back below 15.
Right, you got it. Exactly. You got to
stop because that's the problem. Like when you're trading big size, if you're trading 15, you're trading 20 contracts, you're trading 25 contracts, like, a 5-point move is a $4,000 or $5,000 loss.
Yep.
So it's like, you just cannot, if you can't play around with it, you have, like you said, you have to be so patient where, it's like, I know that this is going to react in a way that I can enter this trade and it's going to go 20, 30, 40 points to the upside. And I'm gonna be able to scale out of that.
Right.
It's funny because I've had plenty of 100-point trades, but I've never held full size for 100 points.
Of course.
And even on days where it's like, it was just trending perfectly, but it's so hard to get rid of that mentality where you're like, well, I'll just take a little bit of profit. I'll take a little bit of profit. I'll take you know what I mean? Like, you're like, I'll take a little bit more profit. And before you know it, you had 20 contracts now, you got one contract left and the market's up 100 points. And you're like, damn it.
Yep. So let's talk for a second, because I'm sure there's listeners thinking about, okay, he's up 18K today. What does that look like? How many accounts are you trading? And like, if you could give some of the younger, newer traders advice, like what would you say is the way to get to the point of being able to throw some, 10, 15, 20 minis?
So I'm trading right now this week I'm trading my live account. So it's live funded. I put money into the account. I've been kind of messing around more with the live account just because I don't know, just
personal capital, Pat. Are you kidding me?
Personal capital, yeah.
Are you kidding me right now? Dude, that's what's going to break the internet right now. Everyone's going to hear this and be like, he's not trading his...
I still trade with Apex, other stuff, but
for me personally, still loyal.
Yeah, no, for me personally though, it's like I've got $400,000 in the bank. So it's like, am I going to spend a bunch of money on resets and evaluations, or am I just going to put cash in the bank, in the account and be like, all right, I'm going to fucking trade it how I want, and we're going to do this. It might not fit perfectly with the rules of some of the prop firms, with trying to dollar cost average or whatever the rules are that they have. Like, I just was like, I got a point where I have enough cash, I have enough money, I know how to trade. So I'm like, at this point, it's time to, graduate. I still think there's plenty of value for me to have the prop firm accounts and all that, have 20 prop firm accounts, trade big, go aggressive, whatever it is. But, I think a lot of people are getting caught up in the sauce, because you have to look at prop firms as a stepping stone to trading your own personal capital. These guys that I see trading 20 accounts at Apex with, hey, I've got $300,000 of payouts. I'm like, that's great and all, but like, that's not good, right? Like it's not good for taxes. It's not good for like you as a trader, because like you're still like, it's not the process. Like it's not like I don't want to get caught up in this. Like I'm just always just trading prop firms, and I'm always like, I do want to kind of get people, like even in my course, I might tell people, I'm like, look, trade the prop firms, get you 10,000, get you 20,000 out of the prop firm, and then go to your own account, right? Like if you're successful, why would you keep trading through a prop firm? And I've even talked to Apex about this. I'm like, guys, the majority of customers at a prop firm don't make money. The majority of customers are going to blow up, and they're never going to get to a point where they're going to hit a $40,000 payout. And that's just the truth. So I think, the guys that are getting those big payouts, the guys that are flaunting them on Twitter and stuff, like they're influencers. They've got a Discord room. It's different. When you know how it is, like when you have other money coming in and you have other business revenue coming in, you're not like, you don't care if you blow up 20 accounts, because you're like, I made enough money from the affiliate money today that I could buy 80 accounts and still be break even today. So It does get to that point where like for people if you're a student in college and you have $500 in your bank account, like you can't afford to blow up accounts, because you're going to blow up, and it's just like, that's the problem. So we really need to
still think that's the best course for that person though, for like even not a college student, even if it's somebody who's like you said, the guy earlier with kids and a job, if he wants to start trading, are you advising like to tell those guys start prop firm or start personal capital?
I tell everyone to go to a prop firm first thing.
Start prop firm. Yeah, because it gives you enough scale, right? And it's less personal risk.
You get 150K account, whatever prop firm, I don't care which one you go to, but buy 150K account and then see if you can even get it funded. Right. Like that's the biggest test. Like if you can't get the $50 account that you paid for funded, well, guess what? I guarantee you won't be able to make money off the $5,000 you put into your own account.
Absolutely.
Like
100%.
Hey, if you get 20 accounts funded and you've now taken out $300,000 of payouts, like, okay, buddy, like you've done it. You won. So like, let's see you move on to the real world, because it's not realistic, honestly. And I know Top Step's talked about this before. They always want to talk about it, but like at the end of the day, trading one contract across 20 accounts and, looking for those 20 contract moves, like it is different. Trading 20 accounts in your own personal account, like it's a wild ride.
Way
it's like
different.
A totally
way different, dude. Way different. Yeah, you know what? It never made sense to me why Top Step would put people in a live account, because like in X and like, or why, and you might have a comment on this because I might have seen a video, I might have seen this clip on Twitter. Why take the risk of you or me going into a live account when we could make money on XFAs?
I mean my favorite thing with their whole XFAs, I mean, this is every prop firm, is that they're like, oh, you can only have 5, or you can only have whatever number they have now, because if you have more, it's gambling. But it's like, wait, so 5's not gambling, 6 is not gambling, but 20 is definitely gambling. I'm like, what the fuck's the difference between 1 and 20 at that point?
And it's all simulated funds anyway. It's all simulated.
Exactly. And again, it's like Top Step really, I'm not trying to get all deep into them, but like Top Step really like portrays this whole idea of like they're moving all of these traders to live, but it's just not the fact. It's just not the truth, because they're not. Because at the end of the day, like, 80% of people that sign up for a prop firm, Top Step, Take Profit Trader, Apex, they're going to lose 80%, 90% easily.
It's crazy.
But that's normal though. Hey, by the way, if you sign up for a brokerage account, my buddy,
90% of people lose their money. Yeah,
exactly. My best, I don't say best friend, but a guy I know, he works for a brokerage and stuff. And he's like, Patrick, I'm not fucking with you, but we don't have one profitable trader. If you look at their traders, over an entire year. Like this is an actual like legitimate, not a prop firm, but a real trading brokerage.
Sure.
Like, we don't have one customer that has made money for like a 6-month period. He's like, sure, we have people that come along, they'll make some money, but then they always blow up. And he's like, it's crazy. Like you look at our customers and not one of them actually makes money.
That's unbelievable, but it's not unbelievable. Like that is the truth. That's the way it's always been. Yeah. So same thing for the prop firms. So now what inspired you to start only prop firms other than, of course, the name is catchy and funny?
The money, baby. Come on. The money.
Come on. Of course, the money. But why? Like why? So what is the point of it? The point is to be your base, basically, right? Is that how? Because when I went to you market a couple different firms, you push a couple of different ones.
Yeah. So it just gives it's a resource for people that are looking for different prop firms out there. I think some people, there's some prop firms that don't really market themselves well. So it's kind of like, let's build a little hub, for it.
Yeah. There were firms on your website that I've never heard of.
Yeah, exactly. So, it trust me, it is, you've never heard of them and I don't see any revenue from them.
Yeah, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Yeah. And
it is wild though, because like, I think, at the end of the day, Apex, Top Step, 1 and 2, maybe battling. I think Apex is a little bit bigger at the end of the day when you really think about the numbers. Take Profit Trader does a really good business. They kind of fly under the radar. People hate on them because they have a trailing drawdown in their funded accounts, but it's once you get it above the profit, it goes up. It gets rid of it. So it's funny because Take Profit Trader. I've met the guys a few times in Orlando. They live in Orlando, and we've had some good discussions and stuff. And I like their business. They're not doing anything like out of the norm. They're not really going crazy. They're just like we're gonna build a business where you can get your payouts instantly. And that's the business, like that's what we're offering. We have our rules. If you don't like them, that's fine, but go somewhere else where you have to wait, 10 fucking weeks to get a payout.
Yep.
And that's just like, you have to like, every prop firm has its give and take, right? Top Step's 50% payout. Take Profit Trader, there's a trailing drawdown, and Apex,
same thing.
You can trade 20 accounts, but there's a trailing drawdown and you got to wait for the payouts. So, every prop firm has their own little quirks. And I found too, that a lot of traders will have multiple accounts. They'll have Top Step, they'll have Take Profit Trader, they'll have Apex accounts. Yeah. So for me, I was like, when I was at Top Step exclusively, I'm like, man, this sucks because like I have so many of my viewers that are signing up for all these other prop firms, and they're doing it, because they go on my chat and somebody else goes, yeah, check out Take Profit Trader. I'm like, no, don't take it out.
Don't do that. Right. Wait, let me get my affiliate link. Hold on.
Yeah,
right. No, but it's true, bro. And that's the power of the views. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's why these companies want to work with you. So that's I think a good summary of the business so far. So now let's talk about a couple of more important things here. The Robbins Cup.
Yeah, Robbins Cup.
What are we going to do about the Robbins Cup at the end of this year?
Waiting for my $500,000.
Dude, you said in the video, you were like, this is a lock, everybody, like sports betting terms. You're like, this is a lock.
It's a lock. I honestly was going to open a Robbins account. I actually talked to the guy, like the CEO of Robbins on the phone about it and stuff.
Really?
And the problem is their commissions are insane.
Really?
The leverage is insane. Their commissions are insane. Their commissions round trip, I think, are like $15 round trip.
Wow.
And you can and you need every NASDAQ contract, it takes $10,000 worth of equity.
Oh my God.
So it's terrible. Like it's like today I have a $50,000 account and I was trading 20 accounts. I mean, trading 20 contracts. So it's like, I couldn't trade that.
Right.
Yeah.
Way
so
different.
like, why, and once I figured out what the real business was, like once I talked to them, I'm like, oh, and it makes sense. Because Robbins, at the end of the day, their goal is to get people to trade through the Robbins Cup and then sign up for I think there's another program they have or whatever. It's like Robbins Trader or something, where people that are in the Robbins Cup can be copied. So like you can sign up and copy whoever's on the leaderboard, like copy their trades.
There's just follow the money. Come on. You knew that was coming.
That's the real business for them. There's no monetary reward for winning.
I was going to say, where does this come from then between you and Michael about the whole beef, about like him saying he's going to sign up? Like
I mean, he was sitting there all day.
I know
long,
you love him. Listen, I don't want to create beef. I know how much you love Michael.
Yeah, I mean, he was just sitting there all day long telling everyone how he's going to make 11,000% return. I'm like, guys.
And beat that guy who has the best return of all time, right? That was his plan. Yeah.
Larry Williams made over 11,000% return, but it was like the perfect scenario, the perfect setup. Like that year, I forgot what year it was, but like the market had a major crash and he made money that year. And that's fine. Like it works sometimes, but like the idea of fucking ICT being able to make 11,000% return. I mean, he doesn't even trade real money. Right. That's what my favorite, like his followers, like, well, he doesn't need to trade real money because he already knows where the market's going to go. I'm like, wait, what?
That makes so much sense, bro. Yeah. That makes so much sense.
He plays this card where he's like, well, I don't like to trade real money because I don't want to pay taxes. I'm like, ooh. No rich person in the entire world is ever like
ever worries about taxes. Right. Yeah. Let's not make 10.
So I'm not going to worry. I'm not going to make any more money. I'm going to sit on YouTube live all day just talking.
Feeding 18-year-olds. Right. Yeah. So what do you do? What do you think his angle is? What do you think what's the theory behind him? Because you know the story, you know the whole thing. What do you think the real deal behind this guy is? He is the master
of just building this insane story. I mean, at one point he said he got kidnapped by the market makers. Yep. Then he said 2017, he entered the Robbins Cup and he blew up his account. And he said that he blew up his account because he found out that people were copying his trades. It's always like a story about something. And like now this year, supposedly, he's like, I'm going to start trading, the beginning of this year. I'm going to start posting, in March. I'm going to show you my statements. He never did that. He said, now he's like, oh, I have a heart problem. I don't know what the problem is, but I went to the hospital. They said I had no problems, but I still feel like there's a problem. And everyone's like, yeah. It's your fucking anxiety and your stress because you're never going to make 11,000% return. Like, and I honestly, I've got nothing against the guy. I really don't. I do think that ICT does a good job of like teaching people that there are strategies in trading that you need to kind of figure out. He teaches a lot of good information, but it's just the other stuff around it. Yeah, I just don't understand why he has to like claim that he's the creator of the algorithm and like all this insane stuff. Because it's just like. Yeah. I've been to, New York so many times. I've been with hedge funds, market makers. I've worked on the New York Stock Exchange, done all this different stuff. So, like, I just know that, like, if this guy was really that guy, somebody would know about it. And we'd never be on YouTube though. Like, he wouldn't be on putting it out for free. No, it would never happen. He would be like a bank or a brokerage would have bought him up already and said, "Get off." They would have paid him $1 billion to never make another video. Exactly. And that's his thing, right? That's his stick, though. This is what Michael's very, very, very good at. Michael is very good at basically changing the perception to make it seem that people that are going to doubt him, they're going to hate him, and you should expect that. So his viewers are like, yeah, Michael said this. He said that people would doubt him through the half part of the year, but he told everybody he would come back at the end of the year. So everything is playing out exactly like he predicted. It sounds like he's very good at that. It's kind of like the QAnon people, right? Yeah. It's very similar. They're all like, no, Q said this was going to happen. Yeah. Of course. That's why it's happening. Andrew Tate does the same thing. I think Andrew Tate does it where he went on there and he's like, man, I got a feeling. I feel like the cops are closing in on me. They're closing in on me. Yeah, he probably did have a fucking someone told him like, hey, the cops are going to come arrest your ass. So he goes online. He says, oh, they want to take me out. The mainstream media, they don't want me to be out here. And then, he gets arrested. Everyone's like, oh, I told you guys. I knew they're coming for him. Right. They're coming to get him. Right. And now his community is behind him. They're not even wondering why he got arrested. They're just wondering, like, oh, I can't believe he saw the future. Like, right. No, it's a great point. He would get arrested. Dude, great point. Great point. Okay. And that's exactly what ICT does. I was going to say, talk to me about the Tori Trades video you made a couple of weeks ago. That was good, dude. I like Tori. I think she's a nice girl. She's been on the podcast. I think she's nice. But that was so good, dude. Yeah. The Ethereum thing. Maybe it was a post. Oh, yeah, it wasn't a video. It was a Twitter post. I honestly, I just posted that because I was so impressed at how well she picked like that. She literally was like, it's going to break out there here. And then it did exact opposite of that. And I think, you might like Tori Trades, but I think Tori Trades is the biggest scam in the industry. This whole argument of she always says, oh, my uncle. But it's like, who the fuck is your uncle? We're so tired of hearing about your uncle. Like, my uncle taught me everything. But it's like, well, you know what? My grandma's brother's sister taught me everything I know. It's like where is the validity? No one's ever seen this uncle. No one's, they're like, who even knows that there's an uncle exist? Yeah. So I think it's a great story, right? People, they latch onto it. They're like, wow, your uncle taught you how to trade? Wow. Right. It's a story. You know what I mean? Like, who is your uncle? I don't fucking know who your uncle is. Right. No, it's a good point. Hey, good point. My girlfriend's dad taught me to trade. Everybody, they're all like, wow. Right. So, okay, another girl I got to ask about. How do you say her name? Tanja? You did some videos with her. What's her deal? She seems like she knows what she's doing. No, Tanja trade. Tanja. She seems like she knows what she's doing. Yeah, I think
Dude, you hesitated so hard on that one, dude. She's gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Tanya is very fucking smart. She went to college for I like bio fucking engineering or something crazy.
Bro.
Like she's a genius, right? Like she's very smart. I've hung out with her. She's been to my house. Like we've done anything, but we've been around each other enough. So I pick up on these things. And I think she's very smart in what she's doing, right? She knows that she built a massive community on Twitter from ICT. So she was like, well, what's the next opportunity? Well, I started a YouTube channel and I ride the wave. And that's exactly what she's done. I mean, again, I love Tanya, but I think she's very smart in what she's doing. And that's probably the same way you can look at me, right? I've been very smart in the way that I've built my business, and Tanya's done the same. You know, at the end of the day, do I think Tanya is the best trader in the world? I think a lot of the ICT shit that she's like brainwashed into believing hinders her more than anything, because I see her put trades on and I'm like, this makes no sense. Like, what is that? It's like, oh, there's an order block and then this is here. I'm like, yeah, but that's like it's just not this trade. Because I think,
dude, I feel the same way about a guy I trade with who trades ICT. Sometimes he puts trades on and I'm like, what? I don't get that one, bro. Not that one today. He bought the initial breakout of the opening range today and got caught too high.
That's what I love though about trading momentum. Yeah, because momentum is the market is moving. If it breaks the downside through a flag, it breaks through a resistance support. You're like, there's no concept. It's just like, okay, the market is moving down. There's a pivot point to the downside, and I think that really just keeps it as simple as possible. The macro stuff where ICT claims the whole macro times and like the 350 macro, but it's like that's not the 350 macro. That's just the 350 fucking MOC algorithm at the end of the day. So he's done a really good job of basically creating this whole story, rebranding stuff.
Put some slang on it. Yep.
Yeah, because now it's like when people are like, wait, what's ICT always talks about the macro. It seems like it's like, wow, he really knows a lot about the macro. It's like, wow.
But dude, I mean, I see you on stream. Sometimes you'll look at like the hourly time frame. I'll pop to a daily time frame, but the macro really doesn't matter for us when we're day trading a 1 minute chart or a couple.
Well, I think the macro for him or the idea is basically 10:50 to 11.
Right. There's times of day that stuff.
Yeah, the London close.
Right.
And then the 3:50 to 4 is the US close. So there is obviously hot spots, right? Like London open in the morning, 4:30 in the morning. Was it 3:30 in the morning? Whatever, when it opens, that first 10 minutes is going to be volatile, right? So it's be like, hey, look, I told you guys. I told you at 4 o'clock it was going to move. You're like, well, yeah, no shit. The London market just opened, So I think that he's done a really good job of like creating a mystery and a story behind everything. But it's like when you really just look at it, you're like, wait, 350 is just the MOC. But like, no, that's the math.
No. Right. That's what ICT. But I guarantee you, bro, we're going to get ICT fanboys in the comments saying, yeah, fuck you, Patrick. You have 250,000 subscribers. ICT has a couple million. You're a hater. It's like, no.
Oh,
no, bro. Relax. Real quick. But go ahead.
You're good. No,
I was going to say, you mentioned with the flags on the momentum. I'm sure some people are wondering. We didn't talk about it before. What's your stops like on these trades?
I think, on most of these breakout trades, you really have a pretty tight stop, 10, 20 points.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on, how the market's moving or the stock, like kind of the setups and stuff. Yeah. But on like just this morning, there was a nice little bear flag breakdown to the downside from it broke through. I'm just looking here. Broke through the 94s. The high was like 910. So, you're kind of like 10, 20 points, but look at the reward on that from the 94s down the 815s, So, it moved all the way down to 750s. So the reward's there. I think it really just depends. And that's when sizing comes in, right? If I know that I can enter a flag setup, a breakout setup, and I see that there's support, I see that it keeps bouncing, like I can keep adding into that, right? Because like I'm like, that's what I can size up. Because like, man, this flag is like, it's textbook, right? It's like the price is getting so tight, it's about to break out, and then I'll keep adding into that breakout as sometimes as well. Like there's like I tell people, I'm like, look, once you get confirmation of the breakout, like why would you not want to add into that?
Isn't that funny though, dude? Because that's your experience showing. Because how many new traders get into profit and want to just close it right away because they want to just take the gain? Yeah.
One thing that I've been kind of messing around with lately is kind of like these little, like just kind of like putting some targets. Like let's say I go in with 20 contracts, I'll just put like 3, 4, 5, 6 contracts 10, 15 points above kind of where we're breaking out at, get those filled, right? Just get it filled, get it off. And then let's say we pull back, that first 15 point breakout pulls back to my entry. I'll just add again.
Go back in. Yeah.
Yeah, then I can add again. Because especially, if we're holding the VWAP, I need something to be kind of giving me a signal to hold. But like a lot of time, these breakouts, and it happens to me a lot of times, if you go in with full size right at the start of the breakout, it pops up 10, 15 points, and all of a sudden it pulls back, and you're like, fuck, I get stopped out for break even. And then guess what happens? It goes up 40 points, Yep. So like, I think it's a good practice. Nothing wrong with, especially if you're in the money big on a trade and you think there's still room to go, try to add on a pullback. Because like you'll enter a trade and there'll be another trade within the trade.
Yeah, Inception. Of course. Inception. Trade Inception. Yeah.
It's like you enter a trade for a flag breakout, it goes up 20 points, and then guess what? It starts to flag again. You're like, wait, what should I do here? I don't know. Right. I don't know what to do. It's like, so yeah, it's a lot to do with just trying to like kind of reprogram that instant urge. Like, trust me, I spend so much time just taking profit too quick, and then I look at the chart. And I'm like, why did I take profit? Like, why
18 grand could have been 28 grand. Right.
Probably, yeah. Probably like 50,000 easily today.
Today, yeah. On the downside, yeah. With the way you practice and the way you journal, which I'm going to guess is not a big part of your trading routine, and I'm going to also go on a guess and say chart markups are not a thing you do too often. Am I fair in both of those? You don't. Pat. Come on, bro. You stream.
Honestly, think about it. I've been trading for so long that it's just like,
I get it.
I don't need to anymore. I don't need a journal. 100%. My journal is like, today I bought at the top, I sold at the bottom, and I lost 20,000. Like that's the journal. Like, what's the?
I get what you're saying. Well, you've been doing it the same way for so long, so it's like, and also you're live streaming it, so it's documented.
But yeah, exactly. The YouTube is a great journal, right? It's a great way for me to kind of catalog, express my feelings. I'll make videos when I'm kind of feeling a certain way, if I'm feeling down, or I'll talk about maybe I want to size down, or just vice versa. So the biggest problem with trading is every day is a little different, right? Every day the market moves different. So you get so caught up in like, okay, today's choppy, it's crappy, I don't like it. Tomorrow, what's going to be my initial thought? Like, I'm just going to be like thinking about yesterday. I'm like, man, market's probably going to be shitty again today. So then you size down. You're like, I'm only going to trade 3 contracts.
And then you miss.
And then the very next day is that 200-point runner.
And then you're smaller in it. Yep.
And you're smaller in it. So you lost $15,000 on the day before. Now you're up $5,000 on the day.
Yep. You're still down 10.
Yeah. So that's like the hardest thing. So I think I'm really trying to get to a point now where I don't think about what happened the day before, right? Like, I just get rid of it. I'm like, every day starts brand new. I'm looking for the setups inside that day. Another reason I really love the pivot points. I think the pivot points are amazing because they really can show you what the possibilities are, right? Like, you see the pivot point to the downside, you're like, well, we're at 19,925. There's no way we're going to go to 19,750. There's no way. And then all of a sudden, 15 minutes later, you're like, wait, we're here. How did we get there? So the pivot points are actually, I think they're the end all be all indicator. Yeah,
I think that's like your thing, bro. Because I feel like you're one of the only guys that really talks about those a lot in futures is pivot points. They talk key levels sometimes, but pivot points is a different way to describe it.
I think I don't understand why people don't think that
they're super simple. They're not an indicator that moves. It's mathematically calculated based on the previous day's price action. So it's it's not debatable. It's just the numbers.
Yeah, there's the pivot points have no bias. They have no it's just like they're there. They're existing.
Yep.
So it's like if they get touched, there's a reason, right? The market is moving. I tell people, like, at the end of the day, every indicator there is just data. It's just algorithmic equations happening and then putting a line on your chart.
Exactly.
It's just it's just doing the math and then putting lines on the chart. So the pivot points are literally mathematical equations done, and they're on the chart before the market even opens. Whereas your EMA, your VWAP, all the other stuff is following the price action.
Yep. It has to get input first.
Yeah. There's something to be said about the fact that, like, wow, we bounced off that pivot today, 19,750 twice.
Yep.
I mean, big reactions. I mean, 200-point moves off the pivot point twice.
Both. Yeah.
I mean, the second bounce was like, it like literally just got down there for a second and went right back up. So I do always kind of flirt with the idea of just like solely trading the pivot points, but it's hard.
Did you ever work with anybody to create any indicators for you?
Lux Algo is.
I was gonna say,
right now.
dude. Okay. Yeah, I'm working too. You know Sean and you know Greg. Then
Yeah, they're great guys.
Yeah. Greg's wife and my wife are like good friends, so I'm doing probably similar things to you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine.
I think a long time ago, actually, Greg reached out to me and we were talking about you.
He brought you up to me a long time ago too, and I was like, I don't really know Pat that well. But
that was when you were doing more of the FX stuff more than anything. I think.
Yeah, I'm new to futures. I just started futures this year, February. Yeah. All right. So Pat, I got a couple more questions. I appreciate the time, bro. This has been great. I think everybody's gonna love this. So we got to do the Twitter questions. I got a couple of people that want to know: is Pat ever gonna settle down and be a family man? Is Pat ever gonna sell the boat for the minivan?
Yeah, well, I can give you some groundbreaking news there. I actually have a 12-year-old son. He's kind of here and there. And
I think I've seen you post about him. You take it.
Yeah, I try not to like really make too much about him. It's hard for my content too, because a lot of my content's very like inappropriate and kind of scary. So it's like I don't really know if I want to mix like photos of my child, on throughout that. So and I don't want him. He's getting to an age now where he's on YouTube. He knows I'm a YouTuber, and he's gonna see that stuff. He's gonna see the people leaving comments and I worry about it. I worry that he doesn't understand it, right? He's 12. He doesn't understand why people think that his dad's a fucking moron. I'm like, well, that's one person on the internet, son.
Yeah. That's definitely something to consider. Yeah. But I did know you have a son. So I don't
think I'll ever drive a minivan. I like the life I'm living.
There it is, folks. No minivan for PW. All right. Is Don Crystal still long, Pat?
Well, I hope not, because he is in the red right now. Or he might still be
Don Crystal.
We had this guy in the chat yesterday. It's so funny. He's like, I'm getting long. And as soon as he got long, the market dropped 100 points. I mean, like,
we've all been that guy, though. We've all been that guy.
The moment that he said that in the chat, the market just plummeted.
That's so funny.
And everyone's like, Don, what happened? What happened, Don? And Don's like, a couple minutes, like 15, 30 minutes later, he comments in the chat. He goes, I'm still long. And then the market dropped from like 600 to 500 again. Literally dropped like another 100 points. Dude, and then somehow magically, like later on the day, the market rallied up and made that move. And he was like, I'm still long. I'm like, holy crap.
After 60% drawdown. He's that meme with the kid on fire in the school bus. It's like, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, not really.
Yeah.
All right. So then they said, this one was funny. Why is his engagement so low on social media for his follower accounts? That's clearly a little sarcasm. Ask him why he thinks catamaran owners only use their boats for circle jerks. Pat, tell us why.
I do want to, I think that maybe it might not be sarcasm with the engagement. The problem for me though, is I've been on YouTube for so long now that there's a huge fall off, right? People subscribe to your YouTube channel, they start day trading, and then they fail. And then what are they going to do? They're not going to keep watching your videos. Right, they're gonna move on with their lives. Maybe they get to a point where they're just like, I'm over Patrick content because he's so mean and he's so I don't even know all the words. But yeah, I do think you got to look at it like that. I've been on YouTube since 2017, and yeah, I also don't play the game of like really wanting people to love me, and I think
we can tell
there are YouTubers out there that kind of play that game, and everyone's like, they're so nice, they're so great, but it's just like, but what are they really doing for you? Like, I just don't. I'm a firm believer in like setting the bar high and like trying to like aim for perfection in terms of like doing stuff good and just like zero fucks when it comes down to it. And there's a lot of people out there that they want to play that game of like, I lost $100 today. It's so great, but I did it. We all did it together, and it's just like fucking. I couldn't even place a trade and lose $100.
Right. Another one here on Twitter. Ask him how many challenges he's blown. How many, Pat?
Over the year,
probably. Yeah, too many.
Challenges? 1,000.
Thousands. Yeah. Easy.
Yeah.
All right, so wait, now the catamaran question. Exactly. You're right, exactly. But let's go back to the catamaran question. Why do catamaran owners only use their boats for circle jerks? Explain this one.
This guy on Twitter or on all the time was always calling me about or not calling me, but always commenting about the fact that I need to buy a catamaran. That boats that a catamaran is just like, I gotta have a catamaran, I'm like, bro, what? I don't want a catamaran. Like, I want a big fast boat. He's like, nah, man, the catamaran is the way to go. So yeah, that's the catamaran guy.
Who's Danny Trades, and why did someone say ask him if he's gonna box Danny Trades? Friendly.
You don't know Danny Trades?
No,
bro, you got to get up in this Danny Trades world.
All right, are you being
from Let me look him up. From Top Step TV.
No, dude, I don't know. Maybe he was on Top Step TV before I was.
Really? Wow.
I see him here. I put him on YouTube.
You've never seen his face? That goofy little face of his, that mustache?
No, dude, with the mustache, maybe once or twice, but no. Should I have seen this guy before? Is he a trader?
He was all over Top Step TV for a while.
Okay.
He the best is he had like 3 XFA accounts, and he held through a CPI report and made like 50 grand. And everyone's like, he's such a good trader. Did you guys see the day trades made 150 grand in one trade? Wow. Right. And everybody, literally people at Top Step are like, yeah, we got to get day trades on the Top Step TV. That guy's so good. It's just like, I was like, are you guys serious? Like, are y'all kidding me right now?
Dude, so what's the beef between you and him? He just don't like you?
I mean, if you go look at his YouTube channel, he bought 200,000 subscribers. His YouTube channel is like literally trying to mirror my
207,000 subscribers, 91 videos. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
He's not verified either. You can always tell if somebody's like has a big following if they're verified on YouTube, because that is the way like
he YouTube actually only has 2 YouTube videos up right now on his YouTube channel. There's only 2 videos here. The rest is shorts. He's
starting his own prop firm, bro. You don't want to go join it?
I was going to ask you, bro, why didn't you start your own?
I think honestly, there's probably more money to be made being an affiliate than running one.
I don't disagree with you, bro. I can't disagree. And also a lot of headaches, bro. You like doing whatever the fuck you want. Yeah, dude, you'd have to hire a bunch of staff. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Trust me, I definitely thought about it. I think it's maybe, in the future, but right now I just, why create all that burden and all that heartache for nothing?
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Pat. Last question. This one's a good one. What's the one thing you genuinely want the world to know about you as a person that maybe they don't know?
God. Well, I want the world to genuinely know. I don't know. I think if I can leave people with one impression, it's just to be like, man, that guy, he's doing what he loves. It might not be what you think is the best thing to do. It might not be your cup of tea. You might think that, I might not have the best outlook on it, but like, it's my life, right? Like I'm living it. I don't try to hurt anyone else. I don't try to take it away from anyone else. I think I'm adding a lot of value to the world, creating the videos that I do, and just living. I might not have the most friends in the world, but I think the people that I'm friends with that are close to me, they would run into a burning building, and I would do the same. So I keep my friend, because Runtime Rips talked about this. Like he's had no friends. He just goes fishing with the same guys all the time. I'm like, well, the captain who runs my boat is one of my good friends that I hired, gave him a job so he didn't have to work anymore. Now he gets to work on the boat. So like, I apologize for that. But yeah, like for me, I'm just a guy, man. I'm out here grinding. I came from nothing. My dad has his own business. I had no experience in this world. And now I don't know. I think I've been to the top, of this space. And
I think after listening to this, bro, I think people will see a little bit more of you that they maybe don't see on the stream. And I mean, you got a fan in me, bro. I like what you do. I like everything you stand for. Yeah. And I like that you speak your mind. I hate people and any company or anything that tries to tell you you can't say something or can't do this or you have to say it a certain way. We can't stand that. So I appreciate your standing for freedom. We both are trying to see maybe Donnie take over office again too. So that would be maybe we'll see. I'm worried, dude. I'm worried, but we'll see.
It's funny. I was thinking, it's funny about the whole like the live stream thing. Like I think a lot of people don't understand that that YouTube it's entertainment, right? Like I have to be over the top. If I want people to look at the YouTube and I want to get views, like I've got to do crazy shit, and it's got to be like that. And it's funny because back when I was at Top Step, obviously like I said a lot of crazy shit on the internet, and every day there'd be like some discussion about it, and people at Top Step were literally afraid of like what I was going to do next. They were like, literally everyone was afraid. Like people didn't want to even like reach out to me because they're like, that guy's fucking crazy. I don't even, because they think like, what is he going to say if I reach out to him and say something, like I got in trouble for talking about Tori trades and trades by Matt back in the day, stuff like that. But I don't know. I think
I like that you speak your mind, bro. It's part of the personal brand. Like that's how people are going to like you and buy into you. So I think it's the right thing to do, and keeping them on their toes is always a good thing.
Amen.
All right, Pat. So we're sending everybody to onlypropfirms.com. If they listened all the way through, that's where we're sending them. Is that the best place? Where else do you want me to send them? Twitter, YouTube?
Yeah, I would share my OnlyFans, but I don't know if it's ready for it yet.
It's crowded, dude. It's crowded. It's fucking crowded. I'm sure people will try to find you on Feet Finder anyway after this. So
yeah, big old nasty toes on there.
But listen, dude, this has been great. I really appreciate it. Audience, make sure you guys are subscribed. If you have any questions for Pat that we didn't cover, put them in the comments. Maybe we'll do part 2. Maybe I'll come over to your side of Florida and we'll go out and do something fun.
Sounds good.
Cool. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. Pat, thank you for the time. See you guys in the next one.